Teams, it is often said, are almost always well managed. It's not new. Clubs and national sides have long known that structure and motivation, basically a bit of good business practice, can work wonders on results. But it also goes the other way. You look at some of the really consistently successful outfits like the Australian cricket squad, big football teams like Bayern Munich and Manchester United, the New Zealand All Blacks, many others. Business can learn from them. Well, that is the premise of a book just published called Peak Performance. I asked one of its co-authors, Clive Gilson, what lessons the big managing directors and corporate chairmen should be learning.
I think the most important thing that we've discovered in all our research is that our sport organizations don't talk about vision statements or mission statements. They talk about inspirational dreams. From those inspirational dreams, they're able to develop greatest imaginable challenges and also focus. And we believe that that's the kind of perspective that corporates need to identify with. And the reason why the sport organizations are able to do this is because they exist in a razor-sharp industry where winning and losing, for example, in Major League Baseball occurs on a daily basis. The players come and go. It can't be the players.
Yeah.
You take someone like Sean Fitzpatrick, who's a great player with the All Blacks with a 72% win record over 100 years. Sean wasn't playing rugby at the turn of the century, so it can't be the players entirely. It has to be the organizational footprint. This is the argumentation that we've put together, that people, particularly in the UK, tend to look at individuals and develop a blaming culture, whereas in fact for long-term sustained contention you have to look to organizational practices, you have to invest in long-term sustained contention, because you can't win every game, and it's the same in business. You cannot win every contract. But to be in contention within your industry, to being the best you can be, that's what this book is all about.
It sounds all well and good, but in the business world, money rules, and it's sort of what some people might maybe see as a bit of sort of psychobabble, which may be applicable to sporting sides, doesn't necessarily transfer across at all.
Well, as I say, our focus is actually the sport organisation and not the team. And indeed, we found, for example, here in New Zealand, Team New Zealand have just retained the America's Cup with financial resources about a third of Prada. If you take Williams Formula One, who over a long term have sustained contention far more so than Ferrari, and yet have nothing like the resources of Ferrari. If you take Women's Hockey Australia, Netball Australia, both World Championship teams, they slide by on just a few million. So we don't actually feel from our experience that money is the main contributor to long-term sustained success.
There are 1,001 books on business inspiration, business practice, that sort of thing. Do you think this is going to be listened to within industry?
Well, we do. One of the key reasons why I can say that is, first of all, we've illustrated our theory using Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble, of course, is the consummate consumer goods organization that's increased its dividends over the last 40 years at billings of $37 billion. So we believe that the applicability is easy to identify and recognize.
Okay, so successes in business. What about curing the ailments of unsuccessful national sides? I'm thinking particularly of the British cricket team. What could the British cricket team be doing, or the English cricket team, should we say, be doing that it isn't doing now?
I think what they need to do is read the chapter on the Australian Cricket Board. In that chapter we identify...
Oh, they'll love that.
Indeed, so in that chapter we identify all the necessary practices that the Australian Cricket Board have put into place assiduously over the last 20 years. Just going back to the inspirational dream, which is anything but the psychobabble that people might think it is, the Australian cricket is at the centre of the Australian nation. It's at the psyche of the nation. I don't think you can really say that about English cricket at all.
No, I don't think so. That was the writer Clive Gilson. That's it for NewsHour. Back again at 2000 GMT. For now, though, from me, Clive Marden, and the rest of the NewsHour team, goodbye.